Alrighty, and welcome, folks. We're going to take you into the Wichita State and Vanderbilt. Wichita State defeats Vanderbilt 70-50. We're going to give you guys the highlights here, so you guys can see what kind of went on during this game and see how come they lost or how come they won, and I'll be getting ready for our next segment that we will be talking about, which is tonight's games. Alrighty, well, seeing maybe it'll hurry up, but don't hurry up. We'll be talking about the games for tonight. Yeah, let's try this again. Could just be a little bit of technical difficulties. Alrighty, well, it looks like it's not working, so we're actually going to go into our next segment here. Alrighty, well, what I was about to talk to you guys about is the games coming up tonight. First off, let's talk about yesterday's game. Dickinson versus FGCU. We have FGCU 96-65 was the final score. Vanderbilt and Wichita State, as I said, 70-50 Wichita State. That was the final score. Today at about 5:40 Central Time, we'll be tipping off with Holy Cross and Southern University at 5:40 on True TV. Following that game at 8:10, we have Tulsa and Michigan also on True TV. And as you can probably see here, we've got tomorrow's games, which I'll be talking about tonight, later on tonight about those games. So, gonna be getting a lot more games going on here. Let's see if it's possibly stay on here. Please have stayed on here, because and it didn't go. I need to start saving this thing for you guys. Just gotta get you guys a little updates on where we stand far as the South bracket here today. I'm gonna zoom in there for you guys. As far as close as I can get you guys to South bracket. So you can see Kansas, obviously Kansas going here. UConn's gonna play them. Maryland, Hawaii. Here's our change here. Arizona and Wichita State. Since Wichita State got it, Wichita State, good game as long as you have Baker on there. So I actually think Wichita State will advance. Miami versus Buffalo. Miami, obviously. Iowa and Villanova. Villanova. UConn. Hawaii beating Maryland. Wichita State beating Miami and Villanova. Wichita State, this game, if this happens, is going to be a good game for you guys to see. But thinking Wichita State, and Kansas, and coming here, Kansas going to the Final Four, as you could probably see. Travel down Oklahoma, no changes here. Still think Oklahoma will go to your Final Four. Michigan State, no doubt in my mind, Michigan State will go on, and West Virginia, our team this year, still thinking they might go to the Final Four or even just get close to a Final Four. Huge Final Four matchup. Still have the four that I've had for a while now, still making an appearance into the NCAA. Still think Kansas beating Oklahoma and Michigan beating West Virginia, and Kansas being crowned the national champions this year. Same setup for what the president chose, but that's his choosings. Also, ESPN Tournament Challenge. President Obama's already got his on here. A lot of celebrities already finished theirs. Come join a group. Here's your top groups at the moment over on the side. So come join a group. Here, look at what celebrities chose, and my brackets here on this side. Your brackets. You have till tomorrow about noon to choose your brackets, and about noon they will lock, because our first matches are our round of 64 kicks off about noon, so they will lock. Join your group, get to know what they said. Kermit the Frog's even on here if you didn't see him down here at the bottom. And way at the bottom you have President Obama here. So, I mean, come out, choose your teams. Great, it's going to be a great year. There's probably going to be a lot of upsets. I think it's going to happen. So, a lot of teams this year wanting a chance into the NCAA tournament. We're actually going to take you off here, and we're actually not going to take you off here. I'm going to take you to we're going to take you to another segment. Let's see what we got here. So we're going to play this one video here. Can Kansas win it all? It's about 2 minutes long. If you would like to stay with us and watch it with us, you can most definitely do that. You most definitely can. If you choose that you don't want to, you don't have to. Your choice. Trying to get you guys your next segment up and ready. Come on. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Let's talk about that #1 overall seed, Kansas, here, because there's a squad, and some Jayhawks fans all upset. Why aren't we in the Midwest?
Oh. Whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't know my segment was already going to pop up. Back to the iPod. Let's try this again. Sorry about that. I don't know, it's already going to go there. There we go.
Let's talk about that #1 overall seed, Kansas, here, because there's a squad, and some Jayhawks fans all upset. Why aren't we in the Midwest, Pete? Well, guess what? I clocked it. It's a shorter drive to Louisville than it is to Chicago, so the South will do them fine. How about the Jayhawks at 30-4?
Tremendous team. Perry Ellis been there forever, one of the top inside scorers in the country. Frank Mason III, outstanding point guard. Only his second year as a point guard. He's doing a great job. Wayne Seldom Jr. is fabulous on the wing, so I think it's a tremendous team, battle-tested. Big 12, the best conference in the country, as Wally mentioned, so this team is going to be tough to beat. But you never know. Sometimes you get drained in the conference tournament, you get knocked off early, but Kansas is going to be a load. They certainly have a great team.
Well, I think, too, when you look at Kansas right now, we have already talked about how good the Big 12 was this year, and for all intents and purposes, you have to really understand just how good Kansas has been. Kansas has won 14 straight games against Big 12 competition. The worst-seeded Big 12 team in the NCAA tournament was Texas Tech, who was an 8th seed, and Kansas has won 14 straight. So I think they're far and away the best team in the country right now. I think Michigan State is very close behind, but Kansas has ripped through the Big 12 like a knife through butter.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hate on the Jayhawks and Bill Self. I don't trust them as much as 3 other teams. Kentucky, Michigan State, and North Carolina, I think, have a better chance to win this national title. It's a little bit of an indictment on the Big 12. I mean, I know it's a great league. I know via RPIs, it always does so well. It's only a 10-team league, and they got 7 in. But I just think there are some better basketball teams out there. I think the way the Big 12 didn't perform as well as we thought it would last year in the tournament, I think it's going to be the same this year.
Finishes in those games.
I know, but I don't trust Kansas as much as I do 3 other teams. And here's a reason not to trust the Big 12. Besides what happened in the first round last year, the Big 12 has had 2 teams reach the Final Four in the last decade. There you go.
All right, well, you heard it right there. Sounds like people don't think that they're actually going to go. So actually, we're going to talk about Kansas Jayhawks here. Kansas Jayhawks, very wonderful team here. Perry Ellis killing it this year. Like he said, haven't made an appearance in the Final Four for a decade. Kansas making their last appearance in the national championship was in 2008 when they won. So, I mean, something to think about there. Kansas Jayhawks looking to make another appearance in their appearance. So, I mean, wouldn't be surprised if we actually see them. We'll probably actually see them go on farther into the competition here. But probably going to go pretty far in the competition, even though we got Oklahoma Buddy Hield, so looking like it might, you know, they might go a little bit farther than people actually think. Let's take you to these little episodes, South Region Breakdown. So they're going to break it down for you guys, and then we'll most likely be off air. So we're going to let them take you guys through this one, and then we'll go through the other 3, and then we'll most likely be done. So if they actually load, we'll actually play them. Here they are.
Intriguing first-round matchup in that region, Matt.
I have Iowa and Temple. First of all, we start with 2 friends coaching the 2 teams.
Yeah, 2 friends.
But the big thing is that Fran McCaffrey is also from Philadelphia. He went to Penn as an undergraduate. So these are 2 Philly guys that are going to be going at it. We have one team in Temple that really finished the year strong, except for what they did in the AAC tournament. Iowa really struggled at the end of the season. But a very interesting matchup, a good matchup of backcourts for sure, with Peter Jock and Mike Gazelle versus Quentin DeCozy and Josh Brown. Very, very tough defender. Josh Brown does a lot of things well. DeCozy has been there. Score the whole year. I'm worried for Temple about the inside game. I think that with Jerry Uthoff is a tough matchup. I don't know if they have somebody to play him, but this will be a great game, I think.
I'm really looking forward to the Colorado-UConn matchup. It seems like in every region, I love these 8-9 games.
Sure.
You know, they're so close, basically a coin flip. But Colorado's so strong down low with Scott. Amita Brima has been playing his best basketball of the year. He looks healthy. He's going to have to hold the fort down low. And you know Kevin Ollie knows how to coach in this tournament. And I was saying it before the brackets came out. You did not want to see Kevin Ollie and the Huskies because they are as hot of a team in the country right now. The way they're playing, finally hitting their stride. To me, this is so intriguing. If UConn does win, which I think they will, it sets up a UConn-Kansas matchup. What a second-round matchup. Yeah, the way UConn's playing right now.
I'm looking forward to Arizona against either Wichita State or Vanderbilt. To me, the fact that Arizona is a 6 seed here in the region of death just reiterates how brutal a region this is. Vanderbilt has beaten Texas A&M. They've beaten Kentucky. Wichita State has a known brand throughout mid-major basketball, and one of those teams will go against the Wildcats, a program that has become the symbol for West Coast basketball under Sean Miller. That, to me, is the most fascinating first-round matchup.
All right, you must like when the World Cup draw comes out, too.
No, I'm all over it.
Group of death. Okay. Second question, and this time the clock will be working. Give me a sleeper team that everyone should be watching out for in this region.
This is easy.
UConn.
because the UConn Huskies have been playing great ever since Jalen Adams made that. Plus, they make 65-foot shots, which obviously that helps. They have good range from there. But this is a team that also has some old guys. Sean Miller, fifth-year transfer from Cornell. Sterling Gibbs, fifth-year transfer from Seton Hall. So they got some older kids. Rodney Purvis, junior transfer from North Carolina State. And throwing there Daniel Hamilton, I think he's a guy the whole country is going to get to know. At 6'7", he leads them in scoring, leads them in assists. This is a kid who can get a triple-double. He's not at the Denzel Valentine stage yet, but he is a potential triple-double guy. And you saw at the end of that Cincinnati game, it seemed like they wanted to get him the ball on every single possession, and he got a great shot every time. This kid can really play. I think he's a guy that all of a sudden he's going to be on the national scene very quickly.
I'm going with possibly the best 6 seed I've maybe ever seen in Arizona. Just the fact that they slipped all the way down to a 6, I agree with Danny, and a lot of people feel the same way. I'm just shocked because there's not that much separation between Arizona and Oregon. This is a team that Sean Miller has had his team a possession or two away from going to the Final Four a couple years. He is not a good coach. He is a great coach. He's going to break through and get his team to a Final Four. I think they got a very, very good draw with Villanova being their #1 seed in their bottom half of the bracket. And this is a bracket where they could go to the Final Four.
We got 3 seconds. 2, 1. I agree with you with Arizona for sure, Wally. And I think one thing you have to look at, Sean Miller's teams do not lay eggs in the NCAA tournament. They are a 6 seed in the region of death. That tells you all you need to know.
So is this the region of death, John? Just want to be clear.
That's the region of death.
And do you respect the clock or do you not?
It's the region of coaches, too.
Well, I'm just saying. I have 3 seconds. I kind of want to reset.
You use them to count. Okay, one more question, though. We do have time for that. Name a player, and this is I think where John is going to shine on this show. Name a player in the South region who the world will get to know a lot better during this tournament, who they might not know so well right now.
Sheldon McClellan, the kid who transferred from Texas that plays for Miami now. When you talk about 2 guards, if you have a kid that's 50% from 2, 40% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line, you got yourself a special player. And he's a guy that has not gotten talked about nearly enough. When you think of the numbers, how often do you see 2 guards shoot over 50% from the field? This kid can do it all. He's a little bit older because he was a transfer from Texas. He's been terrific this year.
I'm going with Melo Trimble. This is a team that was in the top 5 most of the year, but then the way he's been playing the last 6 weeks, his team's fallen to a 5 seed. If he can just reinvent himself and start playing a little bit like he played at the beginning of the year, this team has a chance to make the Final Four. That's how good they are. But he has to step up and not shoot 2 for 15 like he did against Michigan State. This team, I think, turned a corner. They were 1 possession away against Michigan State. He drove to the basket, didn't get the shot to go. I watch out for Maryland in the region of death. Adds to how good this region is with them as a 5th seed.
I'm going with Jaylen Brown from Cal because other than Brandon Ingram on Duke, I think if you're looking at potential NBA prospects, Jaylen Brown could be next on the list. This guy has a chance to put Cal on his back and take them to a Final Four. He is that talented, and when Brown goes to the 4, the Bears become a different basketball team, a potential top 5 pick.
All right, well, that was your South bracket. Going to take you, we're actually going to take you in now to let's talk about the East. They're going to talk about the East bracket for you guys so you guys can see what's going on. They're going to break down the East bracket for you.
First of all, the first-round matchup that intrigues you the most, Wally.
Well, if Michigan can get by Tulsa in the first 4 games, I love that matchup between Michigan and Notre Dame. These are 2 tremendous offensive-minded coaches. They can run pick and roll with the absolute best of them. The floor is going to be spaced out. It's going to be a wide-open 3-point shooting display, and I really like this matchup. In the gauntlet of the ACC. And to me, those 2 coaches going head-to-head, tremendous offensive minds, as good as they come. I'm looking forward to that game.
I'm looking forward to West Virginia's Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin has been there before. They've won games in the tournament. They don't turn it over, and West Virginia relies on turning people over. They've forced the most turnovers in the country. They score the most points off turnovers in the country. But they've been very, very good in Morgantown and not as good a pressing team on the road. And I think in an NCAA tournament game, it's more like a road game than a home game, even if you have fans there. So are they going to be effective pressing a team that is experienced, a veteran team that does not turn it over? I think pressing teams struggle in the NCAA tournament.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati Providence, not Cincinnati Providence, USC Providence. USC Providence to me is a fascinating showdown because Providence has, I think, maybe the best 1-2 punch in the entire tournament with Chris Dunn and Ben Pencil. But USC to me is a team that I think has fallen really under the radar nationally in terms of the overall talent level. Providence has the best 2 players in this game, but 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 might be on USC's roster, and USC has a guard, Julian Jacobs, that has the athleticism to match up with Chris Dunn.
Sorry, it didn't sound on its own, but I had to.
And you enjoyed that, I'm sure.
I did. I don't know if I would have done it if it were Lamar Wally. Honestly. Now, you wouldn't have. No, I would have. No, not to you. Bust your chops.
Julian Jacobs.
Bust your chops. All right. Who is your sleeper team in the region?
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. They were playing great basketball down the stretch, winning at Maryland, at Iowa, really playing their way into the bracket very solidly, I might add, with the number 7 seed, whereas they were on the bubble with about 2-3 weeks left in the Big Ten schedule. Had a tough loss against Nebraska. I think they go back and they regroup and they figure out a way to do some damage. This team was tremendous last year. They have guys who have been in the tournament. They have experience in the tournament, and I like those type of teams and those type of players.
Providence, for the same reason that John said. I think in a lot of the games that they play, they're going to have the 2 best players. And in basketball, if you have just the 1 best player, it's a huge advantage. And Chris Dunn, who was a top point guard, one of the top 3-point guards in the country, and Ben Bentel is the most improved player in the country, who's a 6'9", 3-point shooting, posting up power forward. These guys get so much done between them. You got to like their chances with those 2 guys.
And I'm going to go with USC, and that's why I can't wait to see this game between Providence and USC. I totally agree with both of you guys. Great calls with Wisconsin and Providence, but USC has the type of talent on a neutral floor that can shine, and they can do it in different ways. Benny Buckets Boatwright, the freshman stretch 4, Chemezi Metu, a man who was born onto this planet to protect the rim and finish with authority. This is what you're getting right now. It's players, players, and more players. USC's won a lot of games in July on the recruiting trail.
They're young, though.
They're young, but
they don't play well on the road either.
And not playing on the road.
NCAA tournament game is more like the road than a home game.
Very inexperienced.
Nice buzzer there.
Players.
That felt good.
All right?
Coaching knows how to win it.
Players. Sound like superheroes where you're going.
Players.
Speaking of which, we need a player to watch from each of you for this region. If you didn't already use that into the bucket.
I love shooters, and I got to go with Jamal Murray, boys. This guy is a flat-out flamethrower. He has been tremendous for this Kentucky Wildcat team. Putting him alongside Tyler Ulis, you have the best backcourt in the country, and then you have Coach Calipari, one of the best coaches in the country. Watch out for this team making a very, very, very deep run. I'm going to have them winning the national championship in one of my brackets.
Yeah, in one of your brackets.
You got to have one.
I got one.
In one of my
I got them in the Final Four in all. Okay, how's that? One of them, they're going all the way.
All right.
Got to hedge my bet. You know, got to hedge.
Don't hedge too much. Backfire.
Tyler Ulis. How many guys at 5'9" can dominate a game like Tyler Ulis can? This guy has the ball in his hands. He does not make mistakes. You leave him alone, he makes threes. He gets in the lane. He is the prototypical point guard that you look for, a guy that makes his teammates better. John Calipari said it. If he wasn't 5'9", he would probably be the player of the year. And you know what? There's a lot to be said for what he is saying about his point guard. A terrific player. Watch him during the tournament.
I'm going to stay on the point guard trail, and I'm going to take Joel Berry from North Carolina, who was absolutely sensational in the ACC tournament over the past couple of days. To me, Joel Berry is the key to North Carolina winning a national championship. He managed the Tar Heels offense with the focus and precision of a surgeon during the ACC tournament.
And how about the fact that, A, you got that in with time remaining?
Yes,
Very excited. North Carolina is in that region as the 1 seed, and one of the other storylines, Kentucky and Indiana also could meet in the second round. Kentucky, Indiana, and North Carolina are all in one half of a region.
The region of branding.
Crazy.
Alrighty, they just broke down the East bracket for you. Now we're going to go to the region review for the West bracket. And then you guys can see what's going on in the West bracket.
Topic number one. Pete, we'll start with you. What's your matchup to watch out of this West region?
My matchup to watch is Oregon State, VCU. Oregon State's a little puzzling to me. They were 9-9 and 4-8 on the road, so they're a good team. I guess tremendous respect for the Pac-12, Brent, as you know. 7 teams in there, but Gary Payton II is a tremendous player, and he can take over a game at any time. He can score at all 3 levels, knock down a 3, mid-range game, get to the rim and finish. VCU, up and down. Shaka Smart was there this year. Will Wade's doing a great job.
Alright, well, let's try this again. West bracket. See if I can fast forward a little bit quickly for you guys. Since it is doing that freezing thing on me. Actually.
Topic number one. Pete, we'll start with you. What's your matchup to watch out of this West region?
Sorry,
My matchup to watch is Oregon State, VCU. Oregon State's a little puzzling to me. They were 9-9, 4-8 on the road, so they're a good team. I guess tremendous respect for the Pac-12, Brent, as you know. 7 teams in there, but Gary Payton II is a tremendous player, and he can take over a game at any time. He can score at all 3 levels, knock down a 3, mid-range game, get to the rim and finish. VCU, they're up and down. Shaka Smart was there this year. Will Wade's doing a great job. I got a guy named Melvin Johnson, the all-time leading 3-point scorer in the history of VCU. He's a short-scoring machine. Mo Alley Cox, tough inside. It's going to be a great matchup. I think it's a coin toss right now, and I'm not going to tell you.
The job Will Wade has done. Basically, there's not been a letdown at all when Shaka Smart took over at Texas. What's your matchup to watch in this West region?
Coach, I got good news for you. Same one.
Wow. That is good. Coach likes
it. Hey, Oregon State, VCU, and my reasons, VCU has been to the tournament 6 straight times, so this is nothing new to them. Oregon State, obviously, Coach, as you said, they're a product of the respect of the Pac-12 conference. 19-12 was their regular season record, and it was just puzzling me that they became a 7th seed. So I actually have VCU, quote-unquote, upsetting them.
I agree. I think so. I think VCU got the balance and the experience.
So I like those matchups, guys. But what about the 11-6? I just talked about Shaka Smart at Texas. He's got the 6th seed. He's going to have his hands full with a Northern Iowa team that beat Wichita State twice, beat North Carolina, beat Iowa State as well. They could be a second weekend team out of this region.
You're exactly right.
Northern Iowa's tough. They play great defense. Ben Jacobs is known for his defense. They're tough. They won the tournament in the Missouri Valley Conference, so they're special. We're getting hosed.
No, we're getting hosed. Wes Washburn is in the...
We should stop doing this for you guys, but
I know we've thrown it out there that you got to look for out of this region. Give me a sleeper team that other teams need to watch out for. Pete, let's start with you. Who's your sleeper in the West?
We just talked about him. Northern Iowa. Tremendous defense.
I stole it from you.
It's all right. Tremendous defense. Ben Jacobs, they hold their opponents at 63 points from the field. They score, so they do a terrific job. They're used to big games, and they had great tradition in the past. Upset the Jayhawks. You don't mind that, right? As a grad.
Sure.
But I think they're very dangerous. They're a team that I think can go far because they're excellent defense, good balance offensively, and they can score from all 5 positions on the court.
My sleeper team is Baylor, and that's because they have everything that I look for in a team that can cause a few upsets. They have the star power in Tony Prince. They're very athletic, a lot of little muscle, and Rico Gathers. I love the intensity he brings to this team. And looking further down the line in their bracket, they have a favorable matchup if Duke wins their game as well, because we know Duke doesn't have a lot of depth. So Baylor gets out of the first round, second round, we see them continue on.
We still got 40 seconds on this topic. Could Yale's taken on Baylor. Could they dissect that zone a little bit? First tournament since 1962. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot when they get on the court, but they had a fantastic
fantastic year Yale did.
Who was in a debating contest, yes, they could win. I think basketball could help with the athleticism, the zone of Baylor.
Exactly.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, they'll be talking about the gross national product. It's not going to help in a basketball.
How about Wilmington faces Duke, and that's going to be a 13-4 matchup. UNC Wilmington, I think they're going to be a trendy sleeper for some people, experts out there.
No chance.
No chance.
I believe no chance. No way Coach K will lose to that team. No chance.
All right, there you go. Lastly, name a player in the West region who the world is about to get to know a lot better during this tournament, Pete.
Well, I think it's DeAndre Bembry. You know, people have heard about him, but they're going to see him on the national stage. A-10 is a great league, but it's an Eastern league, so people in the Midwest and out on the West Coast don't know too much about him. But he's tremendous. He's a junior. I think he's going to be a pro. I think he's one of the top 15 players in the country. He put the team on his back, carried them offensively. He can pass, he can rebound. Yeah, he's got more moves than a can of worms. He's a tremendous player. I think the country's going to love watching him play. I think they're going to advance in at least the first round and possibly get to the Sweet 16.
I mean, with his afro, he will be known. You know, that's the first thing that stood out to me about him, other than his remarkable game. My player is Gary Payton II, and he's fun to watch. We all know that, but I think he does so much for his team with his aggressiveness on the defensive end, and now his offense has sort of caught up with that. You know, he gets in passing lanes, he creates more possessions for that team. It's just a tremendous defender, one defensive player of the year in the conference, and I think what he brings will be shown on a national scale.
Guys, I don't want to go overboard on Northern Iowa, but this guy, Wes Washburn, at both ends of the floor, I saw him a couple of times preserve victories late in games by blocking not just any shot, but three-point shots. He can jump out of the gym. He gets to the rim. Good assist man. Doesn't turn the ball over. Right. How about Wes Washburn as the guy out of Northern Iowa?
Terrific player. Once again, Ben Jacobson is a coach. He's a tournament coach. Won the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. And Missouri Valley is a great league. People don't realize what a great league it is. And they went to the Sweet 16 a couple of years ago with Ben Jacobson, about 4 or 5 years ago. So I think I agree with you. They're certainly a scary team.
And regardless of any player we want to talk about, this is the time to make.
All right, well, I'm going to have to, whoops, we're going to have to speed through this a little bit quickly. How about this? We're going to watch this one later on tonight. Got more time to show you guys more on sports, but my producers just came in and told me that we're basically running out of time for you guys. So I'm going to They're telling me over here, okay, basically saying that we're going to show you need to know about the 2016 CBS season in 30 seconds, so we'll watch that one with you guys. And then they said we would also be watching that last part, the last side of the bracket that we still haven't seen, so they're going to play that for us later on tonight so we can actually get to know what's going on. Sorry about this. Causing me some. And as you can hear up here and around, it is time for us to sign off. Thank you to all of our producers, CBS Sports for allowing us to use their information, ESPN, and thank you for all these different types of companies for letting us use their information. We will be back tonight with your last 2 games of the NCAA, your last 2 for the first 4. We'll have the highlights on those games for you guys, and then we will bring it to you, and we will also watch a couple of videos that might be very important for you. So we are talking about an hour episode tonight. Starting at about 8 o'clock tonight, we will go live with you guys. Thank you guys very much for tuning in with us, and we'll see you tonight.